Hello and welcome, PocketWatch here, and it's our time for another episode of Dies Irae. Let's continue our interview with Kaziklu Bey, and I'm not going to comment much. Well, actually, I'm not going to make any intro. Let's just go. I'm just too curious to how the story will go on this, like, seemingly like near the end part. Seems like it, right? So how this will end, we'll see. But we are back to some kind of like memory from perspective of Ludwig, I assume, right? Because this like angel in the Rosenkrantz that was not Bay, Mercurius and Ludwig memories, right? Before. So let's go. What a nice weather. The sky is so clear and blue. Okay. Oh, I know the soundtrack. That's such a good soundtrack. I like it. Seemingly like a very generic soundtrack, but I really like this one. It's really cool. I woke up. Oh, we have like animated sun here. Okay. I woke up and started my day by opening the window and taking a deep breath. After inhaling enough of the sun scent and light, I sent out a prayer of the gratitude and hope. Never mind, that's actually Claudia's perspective. Okay, I was wrong. I like, for some reason I thought like Angel in the Rosenkrantz somehow was Ludwig's. But he's like somehow else called. Maybe, okay, I think I just got confused because it's been a while since we had this like Angel in the Rosenkrantz before. I don't know. Okay, forget about this. Forget about this. I don't know why I got confused. It was a habit of mine. It acquired before I even had awareness of the world around me. It also came with the daily scolding as well. What do you think you're doing, Claudia? Why must you do this, child? How many times I have to tell you to stop? Yeah, so she had this condition from the very beginning. The skin condition. The mother and sisters, figures back at the monastery I'd grown up in, told me similar words every single day. I must have been quite a problem child for them. There was little bliss to be found in garden of women living in honorable poverty. Not to mention that the times were harsh. Defeat in the previous war left behind many widows and orphans who had nowhere to go. And so, one of the few places that took them in, monasteries, everywhere were filled to the brim. In all honesty, there was no leeway whatsoever. To live as a nun, you had to be of use, even as a child. He who does not work, neither shall he eat, was one of our basic tenets. And a hoyden like me, we did nothing but make it harder for everyone, or just a nuisance. Yeah. At times like this, true. You work, you eat. That's the times that happens sometimes. When there's like extreme situation. It was even worse because I also had a disability. Those merely injured or ill could perhaps be healed. My condition was incurable. I was born with it, and I was certainly impaired by it in several ways. The skin condition, right? That's what you mean by disability, I guess. Direct sunlight was enough to disturb my health. I was even at the risk of going blind at one point. Oh, wow. And if the nuns had to take care of someone like that, they would have gotten a moment's rest. And since I was a problem child, I didn't even control myself when given less work than the rest. I like running around in the light. It hurt and was hard to bear sometimes, but I found the sense of fulfillment so splendid that I prioritized it over the negatives. I couldn't thank the other nuns enough. Despite all they said, they always allowed and tolerate my selfishness. If they only thought of efficiency, they would have thrown me into the room with no windows. Makes perfect sense. Also, Fata Morgana? They could have kept me there, confining me until I died under the pretense they were nursing me. Doing so would have prolonged my life and lessened the burden on everyone there. It was objectively the best decision they could have made for all involved parties. But they didn't do that. Though they were considerate of the location of the window and furniture, they generally didn't bind me whatsoever. Whenever I could but stand and walk, I would frolic around in light. Perhaps they merely figured that my idiocy was as incurable as my illness, but even so, I could only thank them, for they didn't take the day away from me. Yeah, that's kinda hard, like, you try to take care of someone, and this person is constantly just like basically doing everything to die. Basically, because that's what's like, I mean, she doesn't think about this that way at this point, but her actions just ultimately leads to her death. And a child just doesn't think about this. She's just like playing into life. She's like, aware, oh, I'm ill, but I'm just ill. I just, like, you know, sun hurts me a little bit, but it's fun. I, Claudia Jerusalem, was a child of the night, an albino, and as such I was very weak to sunlight. I was aware that I could only tolerate half of the warmth everyone else experienced, but even so I didn't want to give up. If those who could live in the light told me to keep away because I was different, I might have ended up in a ill-tempered girl. I must have hated them and cursed the light. However, it didn't come to that, and I couldn't be more grateful for it. Some might have thought that the nuns had merely let me act on my stupidity because they wanted me to die as quick as possible, but I wasn't cynical enough to look at it that way. That's very grim thought. Jesus. I didn't thought about that. Many had asked me why I was so fixated on the light despite the effect it had on me. And I always had more or less the same answer.
理由が必要なのでしょうか。人としてごく当たり前の欲求ではないでしょうか。
Those words came from the bottom of my heart. As true as they were, though, I understood that they were contradictory. The fact, very few of those who heard them even agreed. So I will cut here, and I don't know if the volume will change for you, but I will try to fix the volume, because I see that there's something wrong. You may not hear anything, but yeah, 1 second. Okay, let's see how this will go. Actually, the difference you may hear, actually, possibly the most, is that the background soundtrack is a little better hearable. Probably. I don't know if you haven't heard the soundtrack before. Maybe you did, I will check later, but yeah. Anyway, don't worry. After all, my words were about human instincts, and if that was truly my reason, I as an animal wouldn't insist on doing something that slowly drained my life. That would be the normal way to look at it, and beside in the realm of faith, suicide was a taboo, so I ended up seeming like a truly broken, sinful individual. Thus I thought it over again, and then I examined myself in an attempt to find where this prayer, this craving that burned me so, actually originated. It was true that I was being foolish, but I didn't want to wallow in self-deprecation after being treated as such. I wished to believe that my desire was something to be proud of, so I wanted to gain clarity about how it came to be. When I see word craving, I instantly think about Dies Irae in general. Like, all of them have some. But yeah, like, Mercurius. Basically, Mercurius gave them powers to use this, so yeah, whatever. After a bit of thought, I considered that it was indeed instinct. Young children are often afraid of the dark, and I too had my heart captured by what was bright. But things began seeming a bit strange from there on. I was in no position to say this, but my preferences matter little to reality. Okay? My condition could be called a type of allergy after all. No matter how much a child loved bread, he would have avoided wheat if endangered his life. I, however, didn't hold myself back to make any compromises. Okay? Part of it was probably my youthful stubbornness and jealousy of everyone else. But why would I continue, even after growing old enough to make reasonable judgments? Was it perhaps because I wanted someone to return the favor to the nuns who brought me up and allowed me to act selfish? Or perhaps I wanted to show them that I was fine and deserved to be treated as an adult? I did indeed feel both of the sentiments, and there was no falsehood behind those words. Okay, very interesting. So, in a sense, it's a way to say thank you to everyone who helped her, because she's trying to show that she can help too, despite her condition. When did you develop cancer though? At what age? Because they said like it got like extremely advanced, right? Like she started to getting like skin cancer, and then it got like onto like nearly all of her like internal organs, from what I remember, right? From what Samuel Note said. How long does it take? Also, how is she still like a miracle is that she's like still like walking. I'm like with Bay on this one, like holy Jesus, like you should like just lie down and just like not like standing up anymore. Like how can you even walk in this condition? But yeah, like I said, probably having some kind of like regenerative powers or something. Like natural abilities like trip ahead. I did indeed feel both of these sentiments, and there was no falsehood, yeah. But even so, I knew that deep inside there was some other motive. It was this memory from a time I couldn't recall, but the event itself was something I couldn't forget. The sight from the back then was burned into my soul, living with me to this day. Oh, interesting. Oh, the birds. This is actually cool, wow. It is. I saw blue, pale, boundless, endless clear sky with a flock of birds flying under it. The scene moved my heart. The wings were crystalline, and I couldn't help but find their free, noble existence to be precious. When I hear sky, we have white birds. I think of other visual novel as well. Little Bastards. Anyone know which character I think of? Wonder if you know. Let me know if you know. Blue sky and white birds. Vague, but a certain yearning that was the very ideal I waved. The truth behind the feelings I'd painted and aimed for had the wing-like shape. I wished to become akin to an angel. Wished that blue sky suited more than anything else.
私はここに集いたる人々の前で厳かに神に誓わん。我が生涯を清く過ごし、我が務めを忠実に尽くさんことを。私はすべての徳ある者、害ある者を断ち、悪しき薬を用いることなく、また知りつつこれを進めざるべし。私は我が力の限り 務めの水準を高くせんと努むべし。我が務めにあたりて、私が知り得たる人々の指示すべて、私は人に漏らさざるべし。私は心より意志を助け、我が手に託されたる人々の幸に身を捧げん。
The pledge I solemnly etched upon my heart was my pride and desire. I swore to become an all-living apostle of life, of sun. I promised to always be ready to serve, regardless of how many sought me. Even if light would lead me to death, I wanted my heart to always bear this wing-like mark. I wished to be blessed by the endless blue. Thus, no matter what became of my body, I never felt like it was torture. I fervently believed that it wasn't deleterious, mischievous, or harmful. I didn't want to act against the pledge. Wow. Whoa, her devotion is so strong. And her craving to... like, pledge. Okay, maybe craving is what... actually craving as well, because she said she wanted to be... like a bird in the sky, right? Basically. Yeah, so it's like her pledge and the craving at the same time. Like an angel in the sky. Cool. Wow. You can't break Claudia. You just cannot break Claudia. I don't think she will fall for Wilhelm. I don't think she will. I think like she's like too strongly devoted to fall for Wilhelm actually. My bliss was proof of the light good nature. The joy it filled me with overcome the pain and made me forget the fear. For others' sake, for my sake, and for the sake of those who are suffering, I wished to walk a path shining of light. I would have become wings that could take to the sky, my ideal. Into the pale blue boundless horizon and beyond world itself. And exactly because I wished to fly, I wished to feel what it meant to be truly burned by the light. The love that only angels experienced. That's why she always constantly walking in the sunlight and never hide and doesn't care. Damn, Claudia. I will never understand. How can someone be so devoted? I guess I will never understand this. So you will do like everything that's harmful to you just to complete what you want. I don't think like many people could do what she's doing. Like in general, I don't think like many people would sacrifice their like health basically to achieve their goals. I don't think many people have that strong of the desire to achieve something, to like, you know, even deteriorate your own health, because ultimately, like, if you do something harmful, then you might just take away your dreams from yourself, basically. But I guess like her ideal is to like, angels are always in the sun, and so am I. And so like basically she reached her goal, she reached her like pledge and what she want to do, her thing, what she want to do, as long as she doesn't have to hide from the sun. So not something like she tries to achieve, it's something she already achieved and just trying to continue. That's a difference here, I think. Now I think about this. Ah, so destructive. I believe that only then would I find the true significance of my life. After all, those who were angelic were defined by... Defined by... Oh? Within mind, I continued to dream. Oh! Interesting. Wilhelm in dreams? Oh, this is a CG from the main menu, I think. Right? I mean, maybe not. You were the only other child of Noah I'd ever met. Well, yeah, he's immune to sun, but if you think about this, Claudia would love to be like Wilhelm. You know, maybe not from the psychological perspective, but she would love to be immune to sunlight, basically. I think she might even think that despite of Bey evil clearly evil characteristics, right? She may think of him kinda of like an angel, kinda, if you think about this, because angels basked in sunlight, and he's not afraid of that. He's like her, white skin, albino and stuff, and can bask in sunlight without problems. And that's what she wants to do. Maybe I'm going overboard with this, but I saw my ideal in you. I just said it. And I felt the hand of fate at work as we spent time together. I dreamed the day in and day out. I couldn't explain it well, but I was very certain of the crucial fact. You would someday become a true miracle. I mean... He kinda became a part of the golden soup and became the demigod. Right?
良きところへ行きたい。ね。そうでしょ?
You were akin to one in winged angels. You were my other wing, and I revered the light because I wanted to become yours. So cool! Wow, I love this little cloudy perspectives. Claudia is such a good character. I'm so glad that you guys told me in Dies Irae episodes when I've been playing normal game that I should play first Interview with Kaziklu Bey, and then we should do the stream for tier lists of the characters. Now I understand why. Because it also changes Bey character a lot. Not so much others, but... And so I woke up to find myself spread out on the ground. There were wounds all over me, and I could barely move, even a muscle. Yeah, they were fighting in the Colosseum, right? At the very least, I was certain I was still alive, but I had no memory of what happened after that moment during the fight. I guess you probably evaporated. Mercurius just brought you up or something. I didn't, because Mercurius can resurrect people within the Valhalla. We know that. He said that in either Kasumi Road or in I don't remember. In one of the roads. I actually didn't mind all that much. After all, it meant that I'd climaxed so hard that I'd completely forgotten everything. Even if my head didn't remember what happened, my body sure did. The pain wounds all over it were more than enough proof of what went down. Just that once, I really didn't care about how the battle turned out. Instead, I just wanted to burn my soul. Nothing else mattered. It was damn clear that I went all out and did whatever I wanted. So everything else was an afterthought. Okay. So he doesn't care if you won or not. After all I knew, I'd have plenty more chance to settle the score with those assholes. So I figured I could just leave it for later and be satisfied with the knowledge that I'd succeeded. The moment I thought that... Yeah, hi Mercurius. I suspected him to resurrect Bey. Like he said before, like we never saw him actually resurrecting people inside of Reinhardt Castle, but we know he can do this, so there it is. I guess he doesn't like fix his wounds because maybe he thinks like there's no reason and he just like, yeah, don't give a fuck really, but a man's voice stopped me from enjoying the pleasant remnants of the exhalation and pulled me back into reality. Not caring about pain, I jumped back upon my feet. Round 2. Mercurius snapping fingers, Bey stops existing. Actually, I think like snapping a finger is like too much.
おやおや、無理をするなよ。かなりひどいありさまなのだぞ。こちらまで痛くなる。城で死ぬのはお前にとって本望かもしれんがね。まだ準備が整いきっておらんのだ。つまり端的に言うと、犬死にになりかねない。
Okay.
マキナのごとくなれるかどうかわからんし、慣れたとしても不安定だ。所詮今は黄金閣下の想像で存在できているに過ぎん。解除すれば消えてしまうし、不死というには甘いだろう。そもそも大元である黄金殿からしてまだそういうものになっていない。以前ラインハルト・ハイドリヒは人なのだ。不敬を承知で言わせてもらえば死んでしまうし殺せてしまう。
Ah.
そしてそうなった時、彼のレギオンも引きずられる。
Okay, so maybe Bey didn't die, and Mercurius didn't resurrect him. Never mind. He just barely survived. Somehow.
お前の求める不滅とはそのように儚いものではないだろう。黙れよ。
I somehow became able to open my mouth and speak, and the first thing I said was an attempt to end the exchange. I didn't give a shit about absurd scenarios where Lord Heydrich died, and I didn't care about all the other small details either.
てめえには心の底からうんざりする。消えろよ、関わってくるんじゃね
Nothing good could come from dealing with him. Worst case scenario, you would get a curse for life.
え。俺はてめえに言われたような負け犬じゃねえ。奪うものなんだ。欲しいもんは手に入れんだよ。
When he had given me the Kaziklu Bey alias, he'd also claimed that I would never gain anything. The people I desired would always slip out of my grasp. Yeah, that's kinda like a curse for you. But at some point, Bey, you will break the curse with the help of Shiro. Yeah. Just have to deal with Schreiber. I didn't accept to acknowledge that. Even felt like he was just picking a fight back then.
固くなだな。しかしまあ、信じる信じないはそちらの。
So yeah, that curse means that he will not get Claudia. Yep.
自身を奪うものだと定義するのは飢えている己を自覚しているからだろうに。ベイ、一つ教えてやろう。奪うものとは奪われ続けるものなのだよ。足りないからこそ欲しくなるのだ。
Ah.
満足しているものならばそもそも外に手を伸ばさん。
He formed an implicative smile. I couldn't tell whether it was expression of ridicule or pity.
波動の差がだな。講義的にはお前の他にも言えることだよ。黄金閣下とて例外ではない。ゆえ、皆がその業を突破できるように私は手を尽くしている。ならばこそ、まずは自身で認めることだ。でなくば話が始まらん。九段の少女と何があったかは知らんがね。彼女を奪いたいと思っているなら、今のお前は感心せんぞ。
Yep. She just despises you when you hit Ludwig and stuff.
意中の女性を3日も放置していいことなど何もない。
はおい。
Oh, wait.
待て。
Wait, you mean like we left Claudia for 3 days straight? Wait, we're fighting here for 3 days? Are they serious? Oh, that's a lot. That happened out of nowhere. One of the things he said made me open my eyes wide.
かだと
Yeah, like what?
さよう、気づいていなかったのか？ここでお前たちがじゃれ始めてからすでに3日経っている。
Well, that's bad. Glad I have no idea where we are, and Ludwig is probably daily with her there.
没頭すると周りが見えなくなるのは悪い癖だな。つい半日ほど前、黄金閣下に止められるまでひたすら遊び続けていたわけだ。
Oh.
まあそれはそれでグラズヘイムに適性がある証と称えてやらんでもないが。
They was fighting until Reinhardt actually stopped them? Jesus. So they would have fight more. If I just stayed there, he would have kept talking for hours and on end. And so I ignored my creaking body, stood out and began walking away. Ignoring all his bullshit about her being my dearest or whatever, leaving the idiot alone for 3 whole days wasn't good. So I had to return as quickly as possible.
結構女性には紳士であれよ。いつ何が起こるかわからん。
Yeah, and Ludwig is awfully close to her.
黄金閣下はついにクリストフを追うと決めたようで、そのためにマキのシュライバーを召したわけだが、それも予定通りに行くとは限らんからな。
Yeah, I don't remember that CG from this era. Who went with Reinhardt for Trifa? Only the commanders or someone else? I think only commanders, right? There was a CG when they found Trifa. I think that was only Reinhardt, Makina, Samuel, and Schreiber. There was no one else, I think. Right? Only the 3 of them.
ああ、まったく。未来は
So it happened about
の中だよ。
about this time, huh? Okay. I had no idea who he was talking to. I knew it was fucking nonsense, but I didn't even feel like telling him to shut up. That aside, I was feeling somewhat uneasy. Counting the 3 days I'd spent fighting, it's been a week since Claudia's mysterious recovery. Convenient numbers like that weren't always meaningful, especially when the calendar was involved. I wanted to laugh it off at the superstition, but I was actually overcome by the sense of danger I found difficult to describe. I felt like I had to go to Claudia and see her as soon as possible. Bad feelings from the main protagonist of the game is always right. So what happened to Claudia in the past 3 days? As if to get rid of the unpleasant laughter behind me, I dashed out the area and headed back to my place. But when I neared my destination, I noticed my legs suddenly grew heavy. No, it wasn't because of the injuries. Sure, the price I paid for fucking around for 3 days straight was huge, and it wouldn't heal easily, but there was another reason. Basically, as serious as it seems, I just had no idea what I was supposed to do upon seeing her. It would have been cool if she was as fine as always, but I had no idea what to do after that. Yeah. Like what? Like yeah, she will be. You will be like, oh hi, I'm back. You fine? Yeah, good. Like, what are you gonna say to her? You're like 3 days away after her look on you was like poison almost. Like the fuck? Like you didn't apologize to Ludwig or anything. Just like went away for 3 days without saying nothing. And hurting Ludwig. I feel like what Claudia wants to hear, basically, when he comes back is just sorry. I think it's all that she wants to hear. And I don't think Bey can do this. The shitty memories I'd forgotten because of the playtime began flowing back to me. The last time we met, she was mad at me, yep. So what I was supposed to so what? Was I supposed to apologize to her or something? My fault exactly. Fuck that. Yep. I said I don't think I will do this. I didn't do anything wrong. She was the one who misunderstood the situation It was her fault for falling for some shitty acting. So if anyone had to apologize her, it was her, without a doubt. Well, she doesn't have like full view of the situation. But if I wanted to have her understand that, I'd have to explain what happened back then. But doing that would probably annoy me just as badly as having to apologize. It would make me feel like I was making excuses, which pissed me off something fierce. With all that in mind, I considered acting like nothing happened, but I felt like that attitude wouldn't work. It would have made me seem like I was extremely conscious of it, which would have been pretty damn pathetic. There didn't seem to be a good way to handle the situation. Hell, the very fact I was thinking it through was perfect proof of just how shitty this whole thing was. The problem was fucking stupid, but that was exactly what made it so hard to solve. Yeah. Screw thinking it through. I had no idea what would happen, but I decided to handle things as they came. With that in mind, I walked to the house and violently opened the door. Is Ludwig there? Or no one is here. That's even worse. I acted menacing, like I was picking a fight or something. But what I got was the bald expression of surprise. Belated. Oh! Okay, she's safe. Wilhelm, you've been worried for no reason. You had bad feeling, but seems like she's fine. Huh. Okay. Surprising. What the hell? She was actually acting the same as always. It was so anticlimactic it filled me with relief and exasperation. Though primarily the latter. Claudia exaggeratedly covered her mouth and looked at me with bewilderment. I had no idea what, but something had her act weird. What? That sounds perfectly normal for her. Why do you think it's weird? And that was it. Finally understanding her, I lightly waved my hand and acted like it was nothing. Wow. Okay. Wow. Yeah, she did say in her like pledge that she will always help her and treat and stuff. So obviously, like, she cannot just leave him like that. I want to tell her that I would heal, and her treatment didn't mean shit, but Claudia didn't seem to be in listening mood. Guessing my state gave her an itch and she got to scratch. Anyway, she became pushy to the point of coercive and insisted on nursing me. I could have resisted it, but felt it stupid to do so. Situations like these were best handled by letting her to do what she wanted. So, despite all my grumbling, I obediently played along. Oh, okay, that's fucking awesome. Why you can't be a pair? Jesus. I really hope, like, Mari, Ward, Claudia, and Bey end up together. Like, at some points. Come on. They have to. This is just, like, too awesome. Look at her face. Claudia's face is like, yeah, you are a piece of shit, but I still love you. Something like that. She doesn't love him, like, because she refused to fall for him, basically. But we know she likes him, come on. And also, she believes, like, he's a, like, other half of her, right? And stuff like this. We know it's complicated. But still, look at his face. Ah. The soundtrack is perfect for this moment. Because of that, I ended up having to listen to her endless scolding. I was sitting on the floor, while Claudia held the first aid kit in her hand and just did her thing.
子供じゃないんですから、ちょっと決まりが悪くなったくらいで家出なんかしないでくださいよ。
Wow.
しかも帰ってきたら来たでこんなこと。
Now she's scolding him like a mother. Now this face is a mother's face. It's like my kid just came back home and it's like she's like bruised all over. Like, what the fuck have you been doing?
この3日間一体何をしてたんですか？まさか戦場に行っていたとでも言うんですか？
そうだな。そんなに外れちゃう。
Just a little sparring. I thought of explaining in detail, but she wouldn't have understood. And it wasn't wrong that I'd spent the past 3 days going through carnage unmatched by most wars. It left me with tons of wounds, and they were gradually healing. They weren't too pretty at that particular point in time. It was perfectly reasonable for her to be shocked.
呆れます。憂さ晴らしに戦争する人がどこにいますか？
And now she's pouting. Jesus, I love Claudia so much. She's so caring. Wilhelm is annoyed as fuck. At the time she's done with all these bandages, he's probably going to heal already and just like take the bandages off. Also, can we just like... This is the first time we see Bey like this. I had no idea Bey is so ripped. Jesus. Look at Bey. Holy Jesus.
あなたがだいぶいろいろとダメな人なのは知っているつもりでしたが、ここまでとはさすがに思いませんでした。本当にもうお説教する気にさえなりません。
I love it.
してんじゃねえかよ。
And I didn't want her telling me I was hopeless. She probably read my mind and formed a self-deprecating smile.
あなたが帰ってきたら
Aww.
謝ろうと思っていたんですけどね。
Like... she's behaving, I don't know, either like mother or someone who have like hidden feelings for him. Like both of these. It feels so... like, maybe not weird, but like... she's like wavering between one or two, basically. I don't know how to explain this. I have just feeling like this.
すんなりそうさせてくれないのが歯がゆいです。思い通りにならない人って腹立ちますね。
That was definitely my line. She tied the bandage around me, making me groan.
はあ、なんだよ。謝りたいだ？
ええ、3日前のこと。
Oh.
自分でも一方的だと思いました。
Wow. Wow. She actually thought this through, that I didn't let Bey to tell his part of the story, and I just demanded apologizes by saying what I saw. Ah.
言い訳になっちゃいますが、あの時の私はおかしかった。今思えばの話ですけど、あまりにも短絡的で、両夫たるもの、いかなる時も公正さを失ってはならないと叩き込まれてきたんですよ。だというのに、私はルイの肩を持ちすぎですね。それはあなたにとって面白くないというのはわかります。
The name got stronger reaction out of me, so Claudia continued with a hint of panic in her tone.
もちろん変な意味で言ってるんじゃないですよ。ただ当たり前の心理として、あなたは不公平に感じることが多かっただろうし、その辺をおもんぱかれなかった私は。
公正じゃなかったってか。
はい、すみませんでした。
This is awesome scene. I could feel her hand, her hung. I could feel her hung her head behind me. Jesus. And it made me feel somewhat bad. I did think she was the one who had to apologize, but despite getting what I wanted, I don't feel at least the least bit refreshed.
あの野郎はその後どうした？
気になります？
I innocently continued the conversation just to distract myself, but I didn't want to answering my question with another question. And what the hell was up with her tone? It was full of some weird anticipation. Saying something back to her would have been lost in my book, so I just silently radiated my anger. Whether persisted for a moment, but unsighted in disappointment.
彼はすぐに帰りましたよ。別にその後私と何があったというわけでもありません。
そんなことまで聞いちゃいねえよ。
聞いて欲しかったんですけどね。
Wow. As if in protest, she tightened another bandage. This time I endured it without groaning.
あの野郎、あれはお前に惚れてるぜ。何がいいのか知らねえが、とにかくそこは間違いねえ。
Yeah, he
だったらよ。
either fall for you or he needs you for something. I don't know, like he's awfully fixated on you. He lived for like thousands of years, apparently, or something. And what, like you suddenly are like love of his life after thousands of years? I'm not buying this. Doesn't mean that her goal had been fulfilled. As long as she became somebody's love and she should have been fine, it didn't have to be me. I went and asked her about that.
満足。
知りません。
Okay. And yet she not only didn't give me the proper answer, but also grew sulky.
なんであなたはそんなことを言うんですかね。ここで私がそうですねって返したら、あなたはどうするつもりなんですか？それはあなたにとって望ましい展開ですか？
And again, she answered with another question. It pissed me off, so I radiated more anger, but she didn't yield this time around. In fact, she was getting about as angry as me. It was a weird kind of stalemate.
何をてめえは。
Her behavior seemed so fucking pointless. I seriously didn't mind if she was satisfied with just Ludwig's laugh. Of course, she'd also have had fall for him too, but my plans wouldn't have changed regardless. I had no interest in saintly starfishes that just lay down and accepted death. Sure, there was a difference in whether she lost her innocence to me or him, but the result would have been the same. Well, maybe for you, but not for her. In that case, I would be less like a Romero and Juliet, that kind of thing, and more like the story where I came in like a paramour and burned their happy home to the ground. Honestly, that would be very me. Oh yeah. That was what went through my head, and I tried to say that I didn't care, but
いや、気に食わねえな。
but my mouth went and said the exact opposite for some dumb reason.
お前は俺のもんだ、クラウディア。
That was a line I'd said so many times so far, but this time there was something more to it.
俺が拾った命なんだから、俺に捧げろ。身も心も魂もだ。俺もそうする。
Wow. This is the biggest, like, I don't, if this is not declaration of love in like base style, I don't know what is. It's basically how Bay declared his love. There's like no other way. One thing was clear, that nonsense I was speaking was my true feelings. Aww. I could feel her grasp behind me. She closed the fingers she placed on my back, which were lightly shaking. The sound of the heartbeat was too damn loud. It was impossible to tell whether it was mine or Claudia's. My throat was dry. I felt hot, and yet I wasn't leaking a single drop of sweat. The abnormalities I'd never experienced before were definitely unpleasant, and I wouldn't have minded throwing away a few grunts to make them go away. But at the same time, I felt like I wanted to feel them forever. Bay just actually experienced his first love? I just cannot believe it. The contradictory, incoherent emotions make me doubt my own sanity. Oh. Claudia's breathing was strangely loud. I felt a hint of dampness as she brought her mouth closer and... Oh. Her wet tongue traced one of my wounds. Oh! The hell did she just do? Why? For a second I thought she's going to kiss him. Or something. But that would go like against her like principles. So she instead like licked his wound. And now felt it's wrong. I'm kinda confused. She suddenly yelped and jumped away from me. I turned around and for the first time I saw her scared expression. Uh-huh. What did she just do? The answer was clear. And she probably knew that better than anyone. There was a hint of my blood around her mouth, so she could surely still feel its taste. As if repenting for her sinfulness, Claudia wiped her mouth, turned around and rushed out in the dark room, brushing against me in the process. I have no idea. I'm with Bey on this one. What just happened? At that moment, I really hated my limited vocabulary. I would have liked to say something with at least a bit of meaning behind it, but it wasn't like the words would have done much either, honestly. I couldn't make sense of the situation, but it was obvious this wasn't that kind of scene, and if I wanted to know the truth, I had to act. I roared, put some clothes, and dashed out of the house and ran after Claudia. I was gonna catch her and ask, why the fuck was she acting like a vampire? Yeah, kinda. Like, that was my thought as well, like, just like suddenly started sucking blood, but I think like, I don't know, that was weird. I don't know what to think. However, once I went out, I couldn't see her anywhere anymore. It just gave me more questions. How could a sickly woman run so damn fast? That's a very good point and a good question. The town was shrouded in a curtain-like darkness. For some reason, I felt like it was mocking me. Whoa, Jesus!
ようこそメトシェラ。やはりこうしてまた会えたな。
We just started with the epic soundtrack and Mercurius talking to Methuselah again. Is it the backstory? Is it nowadays? We'll see in the next episode. Thank you for watching. It's been a very interesting episode. Wholesome situation with Claudia. I love the scene. But on the other hand, that was weird. Why? And how? She's like physically in better shape than ever. Like, she healed? She can run fast? Or like maybe Ludwig captured her? Maybe he just like emerged from darkness, captured her and ran away. Or something, you know? That could happen. But we almost had the keys, I guess. But that would like broke the principles for Claudia, so she couldn't do this. So she decided to drink blood? I don't know. That's been confusing. Anyway, we'll see in the next episode something about Ludwig and Mercurius again. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. I will see you next one. Leave up a like if you liked the episode, subscribe for more, check my Discord, and become a member if you'd like to support me and see this episode still here. Thank you once again, and for a Pocket Watch, as going out.